I can't see chat. Who is that? I'm gonna move it a second. Hang on. Let's see. It's Fisherman Big Mike. Hang on. Let's see if I can post the link. I didn't how you do that. Guest, invite guest, copy that. Boom. Post comment. Hold that. Paste. Done. Did I do it? Hell no. I don't know how the hell I'm doing. I gotta watch where I'm going too. That's it. No, it ain't it. See if that works. There we go. I just started, Mike. I mean, I literally just ain't had the rods in the water probably 10 minutes. It's before the storm comes tonight. It's supposed to be here way up in the morning around 4 or 5. So I figured I'd try to come out here. The water's up about a foot compared to what it was 3 or 4 days ago. All this rain. So I didn't know that. But I decided to come out before this big rainstorm hits in the morning and give it 2 or 3 hours of pulling boards through here. I got some fresh bluegill, some chicken, otherwise around here known as catfish candy. I can't see chat, so if anybody wants to click that link, come in and read it. You're fine. I mean, if not, that's cool. I'm just gonna document me catching my new PB here in about 5 minutes. The last 3 times I've been out here, the only reason I run back here to this section here is because this I have caught at least one fish out of here. Every time I've come out here, the last 3 times, this little stretch. Caught one 24 pound the other night, a 12 pound the night before that, and then an 11 pound the night before that. So maybe I get lucky and hit it again. Water temperature's up about 4 degrees compared to what it was the other day too. I never did check none of them drag. Was in a rush trying to get started. Because the winds are supposed to die down for the next 3 or 4 hours and then pick back up before that other storm comes in, the way I understood it on the Wind Finder app. I'm running 2 planer boards out one side, 2 planer boards out the other side, one dragging the bottom and the back down the middle. And it's far right, Rod. I don't know if y'all can even see it. It's yeah, you probably can. It's just down about 5 or 6 feet behind the boat, about 20 feet on a big old float. There's plenty of bait right there here. I do know that as far as bait fish. I can't see a chap or nothing. I don't have my glasses. It's blurry. I didn't bring any pre-tied rigs or nothing. If I got to put a line through the hook and it's about half dark out here and it's light, fudge. I'm screwed. I'm doing 0.42. I don't know if I should go faster or slower. I think I was running like 6, almost 7 the last time I caught them fish. But I don't never get them going back the other way. I always catch them right here going this direction. I've never caught a fish through here going the other direction. I don't know. I ain't even got no phone holder. It's just laying in the seat, propped up, and that's a screw out of the seat. Yeah, I'm glad nobody's sitting in it. Now watch what I'm going through here because it runs real shallow on my right. Now's the time. It's strike time. Come on. Shad popping everywhere out in the middle of this water. It's almost 60 degrees outside. I mean, the freaking shad are everywhere. I see the boat shaking from the wake from them. Well, they ain't big, there's millions of them. I should have just thrown the cast at and got a bunch of them, bring Tennessee. That's what I should be doing out here, just getting shad. Waiting on a takedown on the big rod in the back of the boat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on. I can't read nothing. Y'all, I'm gonna try to post that link on my file. Somebody wants to come up in here, they can, because I cannot read chat. This iPhone sucks, boy. I don't know where to post it at. I don't know where to post it at. Because if I move up on that, I'm gonna try to get out of that. All right, man. There's 6 of you in here watching the rods for me. Let's see which way. Get them all right there. Oh shit! That's where you going, Lee? You're all right. Blind man. This warm rain that we had, son, has sure got these fish popping out here in these bait. They weren't doing this the other night when it's cold. I mean, there's bukus of them things down there. I guess that's what that is. I've never seen that crap before. Where's the motor up? That's got to be fish. But I ain't moving one of them rods that bends. I mean, gets the bend from hell in it. I mean, there's fish at 10 foot deep everywhere. And we're moving through 28 foot deep. Looking out my back door. So just got home, my old boy. Got a rod bending, old boy. Y'all, I can't read chat. I'm sorry. Y'all can come in. Somebody can come in and read it for me, however you want to do. Scroll up. The link's there somewhere. There ain't been that many people in here, so it can't go too far. And I'll check it to see if there's somebody down there wants to come up, talk, read chat. Hell, whatever you want to do. You don't have to read chat. If you just want to ignore it, that's fine. Just come up bullshit. Bullshit or bullshit. Wee, wee, wee. Now let's fish toward the bottom there at 24 foot, 25 foot. Them's big markers, big yellow ones. Now I'm in the 30 foot. The water temperature come up. I know it's on the surface, but it's almost 50 degrees, man. What the fish snatcher's going on with that? It's almost a 5 degrees upswing. Wind is picking up. We're traveling 5-2. I'm looking down there. I don't see no red dot. Let's anybody in there. So I guess it's just y'all two. It's a blur. I can't even see it. But the pressure was a little high. It was 30.7, I believe it was. But I'm thinking low pressure moving in with all that rain. That's one of the reasons why I thought they might bite. But I've been wrong before. You can ask Brian, J Dog. I've been wrong a few times. you make a turn, one side has to speed up and one side has to slow down. So you have to watch how sharp you turn because you want to still keep it all moving, from my understanding. And sometimes you'll get a bite either on the speeded up boards or the slowed down boards. And then you know if you're going straight to adjust down to the same speed that the slow one was going. That's what I've been told. So I try to learn what I was told and use it, and it does work. So it's not just their bodies of water that it works on that situation. I'm using Bragg Cadell's 2 ounce, 2.5 ounce dragon weights with peg floats and 8/0 hooks. Most of them's got anywhere between a 12 to 24 inch leader. No, I'd say about 18 to 24. There's a couple of them that's only got like a 8 to 10 inch leader. One of them does. One of them does. Because I was trying something to see on my own. Where'd that one planer board go? It's way back there now. Barely is in the light. Come to the light. Come to the light. Now the wind's kind of got to my left quarter pounder back here in the back. It's wanting to speed me up just a hair. I can't see chat, y'all. My eyes are shot. So roll up and click the link if you want to come in and talk. Because I don't have my glasses. The chat's small on the phone, which is I just can't do it. Cannot do it. I thought I did see Mr. Thomas. Thomas. I'm gonna go fishing one of these days with Thomas. I think he'd be a blast to set the boat with, cut up with. Now, Serena might have other things to say about him. I still think he's a pretty good guy. Ain't that right, Serena? Oh, come on. I seen you move over there. Seen that plane board do a dip, then the pole move. This is almost the exact same spot I did catch my PB. Wouldn't that be nice? Just wouldn't that be a nice thing? Beat it by 1 pound. Be 54 pound then. I can't see the chat. So somebody go scroll up and click the link if you want to chit chat and talk or whatever, because I can't see it. Well, my son and his other half surprised my 13-year-old daughter tonight with an early Christmas. Uh-oh. I see you stopping. Are you dragging or are you just hitting? We're 30 foot deep. This one over here is doing the same thing too. So, it's the two outside ones. Surprised her with tickets at the KFC Young Center in April is Morgan Wallen and Bailey Zimmerman, two of the coolest music stars going today. Scroll up, see chat. Somebody come on in and click the link. It's in there somewhere. I know I put it once. I don't know what happened to that one. It's got a stick on it. I think that's what it is. Let me get the flashlight and look out there. No, don't see no stick. Man, shadow. Just swimming beside the boat and everything. Just got a message that I missed. There's a log. I know I see that. I'm gonna miss that unless there's something over here in the dock. The dock. Dark. Dark, 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 dark. Said art, 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 one fishing club. I ain't getting up unless it moves bends hard. I told y'all. It's gonna have to just slam. Slam, bam, thank you. Let me look something here. Okay. I didn't think it rained hard enough to make the flood, though. All this logs and sticks and trash out here. It is, I live about 8 miles from here, and it didn't rain that daggone hard. Our rain gauge said about almost a tenth in 2 days. Now we're back in 24 foot of water. Water temperatures come up to 51 back here toward the back, head toward the back. Man, shad are plentiful. I think I should just go back here and anchor up. that would probably be the wiser thing to do right now. I don't know. I don't know. Trying to navigate around a big bunch of trash pile, slick coming through. Try to keep my planer boards close to it, but it ain't seeming to be the. Dang, with one of them, he ain't want to cooperate. I might just make this a bait run here. I don't know. If I don't get a fish here at the end of this stretch out, it's probably what I'll do. I heard a dink. Oh, you know.
Well, hello, Lee.
Well, hello, how are you?
Oh, wait a minute.
Well, hello, how?
Yeah, well. Can you hear me, Lee?
Yeah.
All right. I just thought I'd come up and read chat for you.
Well, there ain't probably ain't 5 or 6 people ever come in mine anymore. I don't do like I used to, and I got planer boards missing back here behind me with sticks on. Y'all doing all right?
Oh, yeah, we're doing fine. Doing fine. But Danimals came in. Indiana Chris was in there. Brandon's Outdoor Adventures. Ashley Brady. You got some people in there. Not a lot of chatting yet. So I figured maybe if I came up and read it for you, people would start talking.
Uh, I think there's a couple other lives going on, but I'm just doing my thing out here. I wanted to try this before this big rainstorm come in.
Uptown Chrissy Brown came in and said, hello, Lee.
There's my sissy.
Yeah, Found Meadows live right now, so I'm sure there's a lot of people watching that. But you got to go live when you can. Doesn't matter.
Well,
Doesn't really matter who else is on.
well, like I said, man, I don't want to undercut nobody or do nothing like that. But the thing is, I wanted to try something, and I haven't used this phone to go live with fishing since I got it. I tried one time and it overheated within 5 minutes. I think it's the cover, the case that's on it.
Yeah, case can hold in a lot of heat.
But I ain't got to worry about overheating right now. Then I left the house and I couldn't find nothing that needed to hold my phone. All of my grips and my phone grips and all that are incognito somewhere.
Well, they're probably in a closet somewhere.
I found half of it in one desk and went to another desk and thinking the other half was in there. It'll hold a GoPro, but it won't hold my phone.
Oh, well, that doesn't do you any good then.
Nah, but I didn't have any intention after that. I was like, I ain't gonna go live. I'm just gonna go out here and see if I can't catch a fish before this front. But then I got to thinking, man, if I do catch a good one, I want it to be seen.
Everybody does.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even mind catching a bad one. I've had such a bad year.
I know it.
Like I've caught maybe 6 fish all year.
I've caught a few more than that because I've been making some trips to the Tennessee River. You know, that's a catfish mecca. So sometimes you catch big ones, and sometimes you don't. And this lake I'm on right here, sometimes they bite. Most of the time they don't. But when they do, it's usually a good one. You know.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of lake fishing.
Well, this is
Uh,
10 my house, so that's one of the main reasons why I come here. I mean,
that's kind of one of the reasons I don't fish lakes. I don't have to go that far. So, what do we get out there for bait tonight?
we have bluegill and chicken. The bluegill, I actually was out here about 2 days ago, maybe three, and I was just using chicken, and shad were popping everywhere. Well, just like tonight. And so I found me a spot that run about 15 foot deep on a big shelf, and I just stood there and I cast the net out 3 times, and I had about two 1 gallon freezer baggies full. So I said, good. All bluegill.
Well, that's a good bait in some areas.
They're usually pretty good bait here. Chicken and bluegill is probably the main baits here that everybody uses here. So
Now, I've tried bluegill in our river and don't really have much luck on it.
I think live bluegill in the river does pretty good.
Well, I've tried live, I've tried cut, I've tried dead. I don't recall ever getting a bite on any of it.
Thomas, your luck sounds about like mine. Everybody can say this is the best candy bait, catfish candy in the world, and
Till I touch it.
yeah, till I touch it, and then it don't work.
I've tried skipjack out here in my river and don't have a lot of success with it either.
I've tried it here a couple of times. I haven't had a lot of success with it, but there were some boys up here the other night. Actually, he has a YouTube channel. I seen it on the back of his vehicle as I was leaving. I didn't know it until I was leaving, and so I went over there and watched his video from the day that I was out here fishing. He was out here fishing. Is how I know it. And went and watched his video, and they caught two in about 4 hours, but they anchored up, and they was using Asian carp.
Yeah, I use a lot of that.
See, we don't have them around here, so we don't
Well,
know if you ever
I use Asian carp when one jumps in the boat. Quiet man Curtis came in, said hello, Lee.
squirt us. I can't believe the water temperatures come up this much just because of this little rain we've had.
And we've had a drizzle here the last couple of days.
Yeah, we have too, but we haven't. I haven't seen that much rain. This lake's up probably a foot and a half over what it was last time.
Well, that would be pretty good.
Yeah, that's one
Our
reason.
rivers
I
came
really
up
didn't
6
know the
inches
lake
in
was
the
going to
last
be
week.
up. I really didn't know the lake was going to be up, but I knew that it had rained some, and I said, "Well, that we've had a good, pretty afternoon and a cloudy night. It's cloudy as all get out, but it ain't supposed to rain till like 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 or 5." I said, "If I can fish, get out here at 6:30 or 7 and fish, maybe I'll catch that front bite when it comes rolling in here."
So have you had any bites yet? I
No,
seen that Uncle Lou rod there on the right rolling a little bit.
yeah, this one over here,
Yeah.
Jesus, damn beaver scared the living daylights out of me. That's the planer board that's acting weird in the back there. I'm thinking there might be a little one on it. Might be.
Yeah, the rod tip's not moving any, so he'd have to be pretty small.
Yeah, they get behind you on them planer boards sometimes. They'll just swim right with the planer board. Them small ones will, about 2 or 3 pounds.
Yeah, I haven't had any success with planer boards either.
Man, I absolutely think, to me personally, this is the best way to fish ever. I've got a cousin that I take fishing with me, and he just started getting back into it. They used to go to Santee Cooper and all that stuff, and Alabama, Wheeler, and all that back in the day, '80s, early '80s and '90s, and they was anchor fishermen. Well, I got him in the boat here back in the summer, and he hadn't caught a big fish in probably, well, since the '90s, early '90s. And he hung one out here and got him a 40-pounder the other night, back in the summer, pulling planer board. That tripped him out. So now every time I go, he's like, "Well, we pulling boards?" Yeah.
Team Black Diamond Outdoors came in, said hello.
Howdy, howdy. Glad you come in. We're just killing time and pulling boards.
So I have discovered that planer boards don't work when you're anchored and you got a high current in your river.
Well,
they tend to do a lot of bouncing.
you shouldn't be bothering that bait down there, though.
Yeah, but the way it bounces, it annoys me.
I watch the rods. 9 times out of 10, I'm watching rods, never even looking at a planer board. And every now and then, I kind of glance at them to make sure they're in the same spot.
Angler of the Ville is listening and driving.
And sometimes in planer boards, I love it when you have one past the boat.
Yeah, that would be a fast planer board.
Well, you're traveling at 0.5, and all of a sudden a planer board takes off and goes passing the boat. You better, it's a good one.
Well, hello, J-Dog.
J Puppy, come up in here. What?
And J-Dog said, J-Dog in the house. Is this the best KY fisherman I see?
This is the KY fisherman that can't catch fish. Accidentally changed my name for some reason. I don't know why I did that. Can't fish worth a lick.
Well, welcome to my world.
I get lucky.
How you doing, J-Dog?
We go to Tennessee River. A little different, man. I mean, you go to Tennessee River. We were there 3 days, 2 different times in 3 different days each time, and over 60 fish each time.
That's a lot of fish for a trip.
It's, that's the Tennessee River for you. I mean, you'll go stretches of 5 and 6 hours and not catching nothing. You think, man, I don't know what's going on. And then they'll just, I don't know. They turn on. It's just like,
oh, I don't have to travel that far for that.
No, you don't. It just hop, skip, and jump for you.
Yeah, I can sit out here for 8 hours and not catch nothing. Up and down the river.
What's the name of the river you fish on?
White River.
White River. Is it about the size of the Kentucky River?
I don't know. I didn't know there was a river called Kentucky River.
What, son? You just live right across the Ohio? How far are you from Carrollton, Kentucky, on the Ohio River?
So I have no idea where Carrollton is.
How far are you from Evansville, Indiana?
About 35 miles.
South, north, east, or west of it?
I'm 35 miles north of it.
Well, shoot, you ain't about 2.5 hours. 2 hours to Carrollton. Maybe not even that. You have to give Mike Greenwell. He goes up in that part of the Ohio River sometime.
Do I, honey? I probably should have muted that before I said, honey.
Oh, too late now.
Well, J Dog said, yeah, right. He's like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, really? No. Maybe to your house.
Yeah, I guess I am at the desktop. I can look it up.
Because I want to go down to where the Kentucky River dumps into the Ohio.
At the mouth of the Ohio River.
Yeah, J Dog said Greenwell's over 4 hours from him.
Yeah. But Carrollton's in between you and him, J-Do. Carrollton's downriver from Louisville.
Hmm? Oh, that's way over there. It's Carrollton's 3 hours away.
Y'all about 4 hours from Louisville, then, ain't you?
No, it's 2 hours from Louisville. Looking at 179 miles.
That's what it takes us to get down to the Tennessee River. It's 3 hours pulling a boat.
Catfishing Fresno. How you doing?
I'm 2 hours from Barren River with Cody and them fish. It's about 2 hours to just about everything that's anything decent. 2 to 3 hours of fishing around here, other than this little lake right here.
Really?
Everybody says, "Why do you go that low water, body of water for? It's only 200 acres." And, well, 10 minutes.
It don't have to be a big body of water to have big fish.
But now there's been Jim caught a 65 out of here. I know a couple 50s and another 60. Bunches of 40s and 30s.
That would make for a good day.
And somebody was talking here that some guys on the dock down there, they caught one that weighed 70 pounds, but they kept it.
And J Dog said the commercial fisherman told me a few secrets today to where he has been catching big catfish.
It takes sharing knowledge.
Yeah. Go ahead and tell us, J Dog.
Yeah. Share the knowledge. Just don't go down there where they demolition this big electrical plant up, but let it fall into the water. because you will get hung up every time you throw out. Every time.
Yeah, I'm thinking that would be a good reason to get hung up is, well, they let something fall in.
But my guess is I've been doing it wrong to do that. So I need to go back up there and use heavy weights and let it drop straight down and watch the fish finder thing and try to stay in between the big pylons. Maybe, just maybe, you might catch one.
Well, Chrissy Brown says she's dozing off at the table.
Well, I didn't know I was
J
that bored.
Dog said it's involves the top side of the dam.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that area. That's his. I went out there one time in that little blue boat that I gave Freddie. The water was moving 7 miles an hour, and the boat moved 6 miles an hour. So guess where I was headed?
Yep.
Toward the dam. But I'm thinking though that these them bluegills I had on there, they were frozen solid. So they probably had time to thaw out now. Just now, probably getting good scent out.
But it would be a shorter drive for me, Lee, if I went to where the Tennessee River dumps into the Ohio at Paducah.
I want to go there too, but that's like a 6 hour drive for me.
Well, it's just under 3 hours for me.
We used to go down hunting at a place called Land Between the Lakes, between Kentucky Lake and Barkley Lake, and it's 6 hours.
Well, Lake Barkley would be 133 miles from me.
Those are big bodies of water too.
I've never been there.
I don't know if there's blues in that water or not. Have to be the Tennessee River coming into it.
J-Dog said that commercial fisherman told him that the last big fish he caught was small compared to what he was catching up there by the dam. And I'm going to assume that J-Dog's talking about that 70.
He got an 80 now.
Oh, he's got an 80 now?
Oh, yeah. He's into the 80s.
Well, when you're fish is that big. What's 10 pounds?
Well, to me and you, 10 pounds is a lot.
Oh, I'd be happy with a 10-pound fish.
I know it. I would too right now.
No, I need to fish the Ohio more, but this year just wasn't a good year for me. Running out of parts at work, not working all the time, and the gas prices jumped up there.
Oh, yeah, man. It slowed a lot of things down. Man, I jumped into 19 feet of water for some reason. I guess I'm up on this bank.
So when are you going to go fish that spot, J-Dog?
Yeah, when you going to take me to that spot, J-Dog?
It's an even better question.
This end rod, I don't know, when it's laid down almost. I don't know if that's a bite or it shouldn't be on the bottom.
J-Dog said he's going fishing Friday if anybody wants to fish with him. Just saying. Catfish and Dream said, "Yeah, J Dog. When we fish that spot, we all want to know."
Water temperature is almost 54 degrees now. That's a 10-degree swing in what it was just 3 days ago.
Yeah, I don't know what our water temperature is. Our water's too low to get my little John boat out in the river.
If you live right on the bank where you can just walk out in the backyard.
Yeah, and in the backyard, it's 1.5 feet deep. Keith Doc Reed came in and said hello.
That's a new name for me. How you doing?
J Dog said 10 degrees, you're wasting your time.
Well, I figured that big rain front that was coming in would absolutely just have them stirred up. It's got the bait on it everywhere.
And Super Smurf said he would love to go fishing with J Dog, but he has to work that day. Catfish and Dream said he could possibly fish Saturday.
Well, they're calling for, I think, starting in about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. It's like an 80% chance of rain all day tomorrow. Friday's an 80% chance, if I'm not mistaken. It was Saturday. You got about 6 hours of just light rain. That's the way I understood it. I know all areas are different. I'm just looking at this area.
Yeah, I'm looking at a 60% chance of rain on Saturday, 88% tomorrow. Then 71% chance next Tuesday. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s, though.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be freezing cold, but a little rain never hurt nobody, but it sucks when you do get wet. You're sitting in a boat.
You know, like I said, I need to fish Ohio more.
I enjoy fishing it with J Dog and them up there and learning because it's a totally new, different way of fishing than what I'm used to. I mean, even the Tennessee River it doesn't have as much current as the Ohio does. I don't think.
Well, from what I've seen when I've been on the Ohio, it doesn't have as much current as my little river. But the Ohio does have locks and dams on it, so that slows it down considerably.
Somebody
Right.
said the other day that every one of the locks and dams is wide open because they're trying to feed the Mississippi. I think it's J Dog that said that.
Yeah, J Dog just said new spot, new PB is what he's going for.
Be in the 90s, he's going to break 100. You spend that much time on the water, sooner or later you're going to get a good. What the fish snatcher just jumped in front of the boat? Begging.
What's going on with that far left, Uncle Lou Rod?
I'm making a slight turn, so they're kind of falling behind, and it's real shallow. I'm in like a channel up through here that's 19 foot deep, and probably 10 or 15 foot out from the side of my boat, it runs up to like 12 foot.
Oh, so you're just dragging on bottom there.
Yeah, so they're probably hitting on bottom, and the ones on that side they're out in probably 20, 22 feet. But they keep jacking up too, and I don't know what's going on.
J-Dog said he's hoping for triple digits.
I'm hoping for any kind of double digit. A single digit, it don't make no digit matter.
Just a digit.
Yeah, a digit would be fine right now.
But I'm hoping to get out to the Ohio more next year. Hopefully gas prices go back down to where they should be. You know, I can afford to drive for an hour to get to the boat ramp.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize it. You know, when you're driving a regular vehicle, you know, you can go twice as far. But you pull a boat behind you. When I go to Tennessee, when I pull a boat, or even go to J Dogs, I get 11 miles to the gallon.
Yeah, J-Dog said you should be suspending. I'd really like to get 11 miles a gallon when I'm pulling my boat.
And we were driving Jim's truck, and he's got like a 98 or 97 King Cab GMC 4-wheel drive, low geared. He only gets like 6 or 7. And that was cutting into our trips. And I said, well, let's pull mine down there and see what we get. That's when gas was really high. Uh-oh.
So I got a 96 four-wheel drive Dodge Ram. My boat, I get about 10 miles a gallon pulling it. Which really isn't bad considering when I'm not pulling it, I get 15.
Yeah. That's why with my truck, I get about 16 or 17 without pulling the boat. Sometimes 18. Depends on.
I'm going to assume that J-Dog's talking about hooks and hammocks when he says hooks has been doing good suspend drifting.
But J Dog, you know that this lake is totally opposite of what everybody else does. Everybody be catching fish, and they won't happen in this lake. And when I'm catching fish in here, most people ain't catching fish nowhere.
Oh, I can go anywhere and not catch fish.
But that's just the way it turned out. Turns out here, I'm serious. This is the most finicky water I've ever seen been in my life. I mean, I ain't been in a lot of places, but I don't know. Sometimes you come
J-Dog
out
said
here.
if you don't try, you don't know.
Yeah, well, I've got a couple of them suspended down. Well, one, two, the center Uncle Lou rod and the far right rod.
Thought the far right rod had a planer board on it.
Well, no, it's just suspended down and dragging behind the boat about probably 8 feet deep. And then the other two right beside it is Uncle Lou and a white big game. They got the planer boards, and then the center Uncle Lou's is suspended down, dragging the bottom. Then that anvil rod there, that white one, has got a planer board, and then the Uncle Lou rod's on the end. Which that far left Uncle Lou rod's is a medium light. So I mean the planer board, it really puts a bend in it. It's got Peyronie's disease anyway, J-Dog said.
Well, so which one is your J-Dog rod?
All of them. They all named J-Dog.
So if you don't catch anything, J-Dog skunked.
Yeah. And he skunked a lot with me.
Now, maybe you need to name one of them rods Fred.
Now Fred's a riding, Fred's a riding, Fred's a riding, Fred. That's off the Bob and Tom show.
J-Dog said he doesn't love me anymore, so no more J-Dog rods.
They're all J-Dog rods. Because without any of them, without J Dog, I wouldn't hardly have none of them. Him and Uncle Lou.
Yeah, we've got a couple of Uncle Lou rods.
I lost 2 Uncle Lou rods in the Ohio River.
Super Smurf Eric said he doesn't have a J Dog rod.
You got to name them, Eric.
All of my rods are unnamed.
I can't legally say mine on here. The real names of them. I could say it legally, but you know,
It's a family
I know
show.
yeah, I try to keep it at least semi.
Well, I think we've got 2 of the Uncle Lou medium heavies, and I've got a Uncle Lou bumping rod.
I'm gonna try that one of these days.
That's my plan. I've got 4 bumping rods for some reason.
But what I'm really trying to get started up now is trying to get me some crappie rods and crappie reels and stuff like that. Because I got a cousin, the one that I started catfishing with. That's one of the reasons why he quit catfishing was they started crappie fishing. Pretty daggone heavy. And when you can go down to a place and he swears if you catch it at the right time, he said, I'm telling you, it has to be the exact right time. He said, you'll catch 2 and 3 pound crappie on every rod for 2 hours straight, as fast as
Yeah.
you can bring them in the boat.
That'd be a
You
lot of crappie.
limit out and take them back to the cabin. 2 of them will stay and start cleaning. 4 of them will go back out and start fishing. Do it again and come back and 2 switch out. He said do that all night long, all day.
Now, J Dog said they're absolutely tearing up crappie at the mouth of his creek right now.
But I really have never fished for them to know how to do it correctly. So I've been watching a lot of different videos, and that way when I do go with them down there to Okeechobee, where they got a mobile home and like a semi-retirement house place. There's about 400 of them mobile homes. Half of them's for 55 and older, which I'm almost there anyway. And they go down
I
there
wouldn't qualify.
and they just fish and bring them back and split them up and have fresh fish. I like it. He said, I'm talking slabs. He said, big as your hand of crappie.
Yeah, J Dog said slip bobber and amino. Easy peasy.
He said the boys that he go that taught him how to do it, that he goes down there with sometimes. We used to go down there with. He said they would start catching minnows in these minnow traps. He said they'd take them, there'd be so thick in them, the tank going down there. He said you couldn't even see the bottom. So many minnows. They never would buy bait. Well, I've made it to the end of that big long stretch, and I didn't catch a bite. Didn't catch a fish. Didn't get a bite. So if I suspend, Well, it's suspended now, straight down. Is just letting them go down, hit the bottom, and then cranking them up about a turn.
It's normally what I do. Turn or two.
Well, I could do that, but if I do that, I'm gonna have to move a couple of rods toward the front.
J Dog said 2 turns.
All right, I'm turning the trolling motor off. Boop. Trolling motor's off. I'm gonna reel them in, J Puppet. Airplane aboard.
So J Dog, are you going to that new spot on Saturday or Friday? And J Dog said, it looks like you should have fed your butt before you left. It's hungry.
I'm trying to get Brian B up in here.
Well, my question is, why was J Dog looking at your butt?
I used to have these lives like this.
Oh, J Dog said it covered the screen. Now, you guys don't have a rod limit there in Kentucky, do you?
No, sir.
So I'm thinking maybe the Green River might be on my list of places to fish next year, too.
Yeah. I've got, a bunch of them places that these fellers go fish at. It just, going to new places is always fun.
Well, I don't mind new places. Because, that might be the place I actually catch a dang fish. J Dog said, man, look at those nice rod holders.
Yep, thanks, Mr. J Pup himself.
And J Dog sounds to be a very generous guy.
Well, they came with the boat that I bought from him.
Yeah. They didn't have to, so he's still generous.
Yep. But I was worried about this boater the past couple of times I've been out. It ain't been peeing real good. And I was just like, man, I don't understand what's wrong with it. I don't know. So I took the top off of it yesterday. And I got to looking down in there, and it is almost come undone under there.
What almost came undone?
Where the J-Dub's got a piece of copper pipe that fit into it, somehow that had almost come unscrewed.
Sounds like it's a good thing you looked.
Yeah, I just all right. Everything's in and ready to be dropped back down to suspend down. So let's do it. Ain't nothing to do it. I get up here near the where the water, the like two little creeks flow into the lake. The water looks good. What's gonna suck is up here in front of the boat. One of these rods is gonna hit down in the dark. It's gonna be a ordeal trying to get to it. All right, we suspended, J-Pup.
Now, are you gonna go fish those areas where those creeks come in?
That's where I'm headed to. But it gets super, super duper shallow up there.
Well, you got floats on there.
Yeah, but with the way I got this light set up to see the back rods, I can't really see that far out in front of me. And I know there's trees and logs and stuff. I mean, it take a long time to get up there. It take another 40 minutes, 30 minutes of pulling boards getting up there. I'm suspend drifting here just a little bit. Let's see what happens.
Well, we know planter boards didn't work, but drifting is something I don't do a lot of.
I don't either.
I don't have a trolling motor on my John boat, which I need to get one for it.
You know, for the
'Cause I know
longest time, one of those ones they sell at Walmart called the Edge or whatever it is. I think they're like
yeah,
80, 89 bucks. I, for the longest time, had a transom mount on it, And that's the only thing I had on that boat out here. It took me an hour to get from the front to the back here, wide open. Then I'd get back here and I'd anchor up and fish.
Yeah, I've got one of those old 5-speed transom mounted trolling motors. Put it on my John boat. Yeah, it wouldn't even take me upriver.
You ever see that out here on the lake, though, there's hardly no current at all. Shoot. If the wind was blowing, I was screwed.
But I know we've got big fish in my river. Last summer, guy Serena and I know stopped out front, asked us if we had a set of scales to weigh a fish he had caught. It was a 68-pound flathead.
Ooh.
That he kept. So I know we got big fish. It's just finding them and getting them to bite. But he caught it on a bank pole, so yeah, that's not really catching it to me. To me, that's just a good way to find out where they are, then throw them back. Hello, Catfish Viking. Welcome in.
Zachariah. Oh.
Fishing with Big Mike says, come on, 80-pounder.
Come on, anything.
We're just looking for a digit fish right now, Big Mike.
Let's get this party started. Oh.
Big Mike said, okay, come on, anything, LOL.
Anything, Mike. We don't care what it is.
Catfish Viking said he'll give you what luck he's had lately.
I'm gonna pull what I did on J Dogs. I'm not even gonna look back at the other rods. I just have to hear it as hammered. Not even gonna look back there.
Well, how's your hearing?
Well, all them years at the racetrack.
course, Catfish Viking didn't tell you what kind of luck he's had lately.
Well, he usually has pretty decent luck. Dinky dinks, but he has dinky luck. I'll take his dinky luck.
And he said he got a 47 and a 58 the same night.
Do you have video evidence, Zach?
It's a good question, Catfish Viking. 3 days ago, he said. We'll be expecting to see a video come out with those fish on there, Viking.
Yes, sir. Better be. I did watch him lose a big old rod. I didn't see it, but I got back just in time to hear about it. Then when they was down there at the Tennessee gathering, he lost a big old rod and reel from the bank. It torpedoed out into the water.
Yeah, I've had that happen here.
Yeah, but was yours a $500 rod and reel?
Oh no, it was just a cheap little Walmart one. I didn't say it was late. This is my pre-boat days fishing on the bank.
I rarely thought about going back to just bank fishing. It's a lot cheaper. But
It's cheaper, but then when you want to move, you got to pick everything up, load it up, drive somewhere else, then unload it, then load it back up.
I'm facing into the wind now. Let's see which way it turns me. I'm up in 19 foot of water. Man, there's all kinds of marks down there. I don't know what they are, but that's what I think about these fish finders. They look good on a boat, but if you don't know how to read one, they ain't worth a shit.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time to learn how to read one too.
I don't know how. Half the time I think I know what I'm looking at. The other time
I think most of the stuff I see on my fish finder is just logs and stuff.
big old flatheads be right up underneath them. We don't have flatheads here in this water, in this lake. There's blues and channels, carp, and bass. And they say there's sauger in here. I don't know. I've never personally never caught one.
Well, have you personally fished for one?
No, don't know how. They say just put a big live minnow on those little old small eagle claw hook and troll down through here for them. Well, I've seen them guys doing it. Well, if that's the case, then the crappies in there to eat it up.
Well, there you go. As long as you're catching something.
There was a crappie in here. Most crappie in this lake ain't over 6 to 7. Big ones, 8 inches long.
That's not legal size in Kentucky, is it?
No. Well, I got 3 more rods laying there. They ain't even got rigged up to go out. Maybe I should have put them all out. But hell, if I can't do it on 6, then it ain't gonna happen at all.
So that's why I'm fine fishing with just 3 rods. If I ain't catching nothing on them, well, that's just that much bait I'm not using.
3 times more options to get hung up.
Yeah. But between Sharon and I, we've got 6 rods out all the time, so. But she's all into that carp fishing because she's doing well on it, so.
They're in here. There's some big old carp up in here. I have fished with them for them one time. It was about when it was back in the summer. I think I did a live come out here and fish with them, tried to make dough balls and fish. I sat there in the heat, ended up catching 1 catfish and left. But then some guys come in here on a great old big platform looking boat. It had a big old platform.
Deck boat?
Yeah, and they had lights, and they were shooting them with bows. They told Jim
Yeah,
that
it's just,
night that they had got over 30.
yeah, that's just kind of wasting them.
Well, there's so many of them in here, though.
I mean, if it's just regular common carp, grass carp, that's a waste. But, if in my river, the guys do that with Asian carp, and I'm fine with that. Because there's so many Asian carp out here that I think that's what's killing the fish in our river.
I watched a video here a while back. I can't remember. It was on YouTube somewhere. I don't know how I even came across it. And it was like this DNR on the Mississippi River. And they shocked this big section along this big bank. And that's how they said that they do that in 3 or 4 different places, then, down through the river. And then they can tell the average density of how many there are in the water.
Oh, there's a lot.
And it's up to like 60 something, 70% compared to other fish in certain parts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they breed uncontrollably. Ain't nothing like having a 30-pound Asian carp hit you in the back because it jumped out of the water.
I bet that hurt.
It does. Makes good bait, though.
What them boys was using up here the other night. They caught 2.
So my plan is to get me a bunch, get me a vacuum sealer, and vacuum seal me a whole bunch of Asian carp for bait. Because I got these companies now selling scented Asian carp for bait.
Yeah, I seen one up there at CatCon last year.
Yeah, dark water.
Yeah, I didn't. I bought 2 or 3 different packages. I never got a bite out here.
Well, there's no Asian carp in that water.
If there ain't no chicken either.
No, but there are birds.
Ducks and birds.
Catfish will eat a baby duck, so. But I figure if they can sell it, I can get my own Asian carp and throw in some flavorings on it, vacuum seal it. And
There you go.
that stuff doesn't even have to be refrigerated.
Oh man, I shoot. But you
Well,
do
when
have
it's
to seal the
when it's
bag back. Do not leave the bag open.
but Sharina had some sent to her to try, and I was reading the storage instructions on it. Said you can just leave it out as long as it's cool.
For a week. One package was closed up, the other package was open, and one that was open was bad, and the other one, it wasn't good, but it wasn't as bad.
But I've caught stuff here on Asian carp, and I believe they catch quite a bit in the Ohio with Asian carp. So, if I can get that for free, where I
Oh
can't
yeah,
get skipjack here without paying for it, I might as well just give me a bunch,
yeah,
spend the money on a vacuum sealer, and have bait all the time.
yeah.
Because when they jump in the boat and you cut them open, they're bloody as crap. They bleed everywhere, and
I
they got
think in
that thick
Rumpeloosa,
skin.
somebody said that they take a stick. Some of them do and hit them or hit them fish and make them bleed.
Yeah, uh, beat the crap out of them before you cut them open. That way, it bruises them up, draws that blood up to the surface. But they get that thick, tough skin on them, so they don't come off the hook. And every time I've used it, I've had to get the knife out and cut them off the hook. Well, I'd like to see one of them rods go down about now, Lee.
Oh man, I just maneuvered my way over. I'm looking at the navigation charts, whatever it is, fishing charts that's on that fish finder.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting right in one of where these two creeks run together. I'm right in the Y of the channel.
Are you dragging on the ledges or down the middle of the channel?
Well, I went across it. I'm going across it, come down one side and across the flat, and then go up the other side. Then I'll turn and come right down the middle of it. See how one of them's going to have to produce fish.
See, I've often wondered how accurate those maps on the fish finders are.
Well, somebody said that these things are GPS and it's recording on a master computer somewhere. I don't know, or people turn it in or something. I don't know. I read that somewhere. Somebody said it.
My next fish finder is going to be the type where I can make my own maps.
I've let this one record everywhere I've been out on this lake every time I've been on this water. And I can't even hardly see nothing now because I've been out here so daggone many times. It's just a black road map. They delete them.
Oh, your tracks.
Yeah.
The one on one, I can map my river. Like your navigational maps you've got on yours.
Yeah.
Well, I can take the card out, bring it in here, and put it in the computer, and try to figure out exactly where I want to fish, where I think I might have the best success.
In the water.
Ashley Brady came in asking, any luck?
No, man. No fish.
But he's still trying, Ashley.
Well, it's just 9:14, so it ain't been, 2 hours? A little over 2 hours I've been out here. So.
Well, it's just 8:14 at my house.
I would stay really, really late, but I got that baby. She'll be there at 7:15 in the morning. Woo! And she's usually fired up and ready to go.
7:15, we'll have been at work for 45 minutes. When are you going to get your morning show going again, Lee?
I don't know, Brother Thomas.
That used to be my lunchtime entertainment.
I thought about it, but I don't know. And I get watching that youngin', man. I'm telling you what, she's a full-time project. You know, we're trying to potty train her now. And,
Oh, good luck with that.
oh, it's just, shoo, breaking her off the bottle and everything all at the same time.
Well, Ashley said, LOL, some days it's like that.
We'll try.
But why are you going to stress that little baby out like that, trying to make her pee in a bucket and take her bottle all at the same time? Probably going to take her blankie away next.
Well, she done took mine. She done got me into one of them routines of a 9:40 nap, a.m. nap. Sometimes it's around 8:30 to 9:40. She's gonna go down.
Well, then you know when you get a break.
Sure, any noise, garbage truck go by outside. And she's up. Unless I'm laying there right beside her, and she's dead to the world. If I got to lay down,
got warmth and comfort when you're laying next to her.
I told her mom and daddy here a while back. You need to stop sleeping with her. Put her back in her baby bed. And the wind's picking up quite a bit too.
Yeah, I see your rag there blowing pretty hard. Didn't know if that was the wind or if that was you were trolling that fast.
Oh, the wind. I'm trying to make a turn and get with the wind, just let it push me. Sound like a daggone machine gun going off over there.
Now, what was that?
That trolling motor got a stick on it. It finally come out. I'm going over a big hump from 22 feet up to like 12 feet. Then it drops back down to 18.
It was a good sized hump. Maybe there'll be something on the backside.
And there's that's on down view too, so directly behind the boat. I mean, directly under the boat, back in the back. See what it looks like on side view. Hell, I don't know nothing about that. That trips me out. See all kinds of little white dots.
Well, it's my understanding that the side scan, those little white dots are supposed to be the swim bladders showing
Well,
showing up with that empty air pocket.
Let me pull it over. You see it? You see that?
Yeah.
I don't know what that deal is.
That's one of those things where you got to know how to read it. Yeah, I don't spend enough time looking at mine to be able to read it.
Uh-oh, did my servers go by?
No, you went a little fuzzy for a second, but that's all right.
Made the turn, headed back down. Yeah, kitty, 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 kitty.
I was waiting for you to do that so I wouldn't have to.
I'm getting desperate, Thomas.
Just need that one digit.
We'll take this 9 and just stick it down in the water bottle, stick it down in the water, and pow. Maybe something will float to the top from a concussion.
Yeah, all my fishing trips this year have gone like yours is going right now.
I usually get one here lately, at least one. And it's been a decent fish. I mean, I think anything above 10 pounds, decent fish. That one was 24 pounds, and he was a nice one. He hit, and when he hit hard. He tangled up every daggone thing I had.
Well, I normally spend about 8 to 9 hours out fishing before I catch one. And the whole time, Serena's over there reeling them in left and right. Kind of makes me not like her from time to time.
She must be in the other room.
She's upstairs.
Oh, she can't hear you.
Right.
Smart man. Ain't your first rodeo, is
No, it's not.
it?
But she knows I get frustrated with her when she's catching fish all the time and I can't even get a bite.
Well, I done that for the longest time out here. I'd be sitting out here when I first started coming out here to this lake. I didn't know nothing about nothing, just anchor fishing. Finally got an old boat to come out here. I'd be anchored up and I watch these boys go by pulling boards and they catch 4 or 5 fish before they get out of sight. I was like, there you go. Next Saturday, same thing. So finally, I got to watching them, and then I got to watching videos. talking to people in YouTube and realized that that's called planer boarding, and I got me a set of them, and I started trying it. And my fish catching ratio went way up compared to what it was. But you go long stretches in this lake of not catching anything. And then you come out here in one weekend, it seemed like every boat and you and everybody you talked to was catching fish. And it's very few and short between them. There's one old boy come up here and he's like me, he likes to pull boards and stuff, and he got tangled up in somebody's gill net going across one of these shallow coves. Well, you're not supposed to have a gill nets in here, or noodle it, trot line it, jerk lines, or nothing. And sometimes you come out here and there'll be 50 noodles down through here. I just drag right through and hook them.
Yeah, Serena and I have thought about throwing some jugs out just to drift with them, have something to do, have some different content. But here, if you fish with jugs or noodles, you got to keep them in sight.
We find them down on the Tennessee River, in the river. We be coming up water and then midnight and pass a jug and it is standing straight up. Have a big 15, 20 pound blue on it.
Well, I'd grab it and turn it loose.
Well, the first time I just looked at it and put it back. And I said, well, I'll give them a chance, you know. And we didn't see no other boats for another 2 hours. So on our way in, we picked it up and let it out. And that was not counted in our total.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with fishing that way, but if you're going to do it, don't just let them sit on there and lose your jugs and let them die.
Yeah. And that wind has got up pretty daggone stout now. Well, it's just a breeze every now and then. Now it's gotten pretty steady.
Yeah, that front must be coming in on you.
You still cleaning reels? Working on them?
Whenever I have one to clean. Try and find a supplier so I can get bearings and stuff and go through the reels I haven't done on my own yet. But I'm finding it's difficult to find anybody that's got parts for anything other than Abu Garcia or Shimano or Daiwa. Because not all my reels are Abu Garcia. I've got those Cast Kings, some Lew's and Ancient Mariners. What'd you say, Lee?
I didn't say nothing. I'm just walking around the boat.
Okay, Uptown Chrissy Brown said, okay, can't stay awake any longer. Good night. Much love, y'all.
Bye, Chrissy.
Hope you feel better soon, Chrissy.
Yeah. I just didn't realize the water was this muddy either. So it didn't seem like it was this muddy down there by the dock.
Well, if you got a lot of rain and stuff, you saying something about logs and sticks floating.
Yeah.
It's going to make it all muddy, too.
I was out here, I don't know, 2 or 3, 4 days ago, I think it was, maybe 5, 3 or 4, something like that. And it got dark. And then once it got dark, the temperature really started dropping. And I got to thinking about, I'm going to load up and go to the house. There's a tree up in one of them coves. We fished around it for a long time. It fell and blocked the whole way up into that cove. Somebody come out here and it looks like it took a chainsaw.
Well, must have been some good fishing up in that cove.
Well, it stays the same depth for about the length of a football field. It's about the size of a football field. I mean, it was a monster sycamore. Now the wind has completely died. I said that. Here it comes. I can hear it rustling through the woods.
Are you sure there's fish in that lake?
But I said earlier that I said if I don't start catching, I was sitting here thinking about that. I was like, or popping. I might try to catch me a bunch of them about 4 inches, 5 inches long. I don't have a vacuum sealer. I just have to put them in gallon baggies and roll the air out of it and seal it.
Oh, see, when I do it that way, I just dip them in a bucket of water, let the water push the air out.
I didn't bring my coffee. That just sucks. Any other time, I'd have a full thermos of coffee on this boat. I'm gonna try to go right down this ledge over here where it's about 12 foot deep and it drops into a 21 foot hole channel, the whole length of this. Think about it. I come up and when I came in, I stayed out into the 19, 20 foot. This time I'm gonna go right where it's 6 and 7 feet deep.
We try shallow then.
Yeah, it's a big shallow cliff shape underwater, whatever it is. It drops off into like 21, 22. And it's just a great old big shelf, probably 20 yards wide, right off the bank.
Well, they haven't been in the deep water.
No, I ain't been in real deep. I have to turn the light off there. This was not off, but around where I can see exactly where I'm going to be here. I'm going to be cutting close to this bank. There's one little spot here where a big old tree fell out into the water a long time ago.
Yeah, hitting that wouldn't be a good time.
But Beaver's got a big home right up against it. It's one of the biggest beavers I believe I've ever seen in my life, too. I thought it was a small calf.
Oh, is that the one that scared the crap out of you?
Yeah. When I'm anchored up, I don't have any lights on. I'm just sitting there in the dark, usually looking at my phone or something. He'll come right up to the boat and splash water on you.
You gotta let you know who's boss. Guess he's letting you know you're in the beaver hood.
The beaver hood. I guess there's better places it could be,
Yeah.
There's your cat. There's me a cat con shirt.
Beaver hood.
Hey, the beaver hood.
Well, that's just as good as any other shirt.
I got a feeling that if this wind wouldn't, a little breeze wouldn't blowing, it would be one foggy little thing here. All right, it's 21 feet, and I'm starting to just getting ready to jump up on this ledge here in just a minute.
Now we've had a lot of fog last couple of days.
It ain't been real bad, but even with this wind, I mean the breeze. I'm looking down across the lake, and it's just barely can't see the houses down there. Dang, I didn't know that hole was there. It hit a 26-foot hole. Oh, she's climbing now. There's more raccoons around this lake than you can have shake a stick at.
Oh, that's the rival gang with the Beaver Hood.
I don't know, man. There's more raccoons, and most of this on my left is probably the minimum square footage of a house is probably 5,000. Most of them's in the 10 and 12,000 square feet. Oh, now we're climbing. We're up to 15 feet.
I don't know that I would want a 10,000 square foot house.
And the lots they have them on are like 20-acre lots or 10-acre lots or something like that. 10-acre, I think. And it's real private, gated. There's deer in there like you wouldn't believe.
Now, I wouldn't mind a 10-acre lot.
There's just more you got to mow.
No, you don't.
All these people, they keep it mowed down. Looks like golf course stripes. 12 feet climbing. They're getting a little cool, getting a little damp. That fog.
Yeah, what's your water temperatures now?
54.0.
Well, still about the same then.
Yeah. But the further I go down the lake like this, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper as far in the channel. So the water actually gets cooler. Plus it gets blocked with them big old hills way down there where the dam's at.
So are you marking fish, or is that your remote for your trolling motor that's beeping?
Oh, that's my remote. All right, Mr. Beaver, I hear you back there. He following me now, splashing. And 12 foot of water, I will be for a ways now. I think it might get up about 8. Get over a little bit more. The wind.
Well, hopefully that little stretch doesn't have a bunch of snags down there on the bottom.
Now, I've been across it before. Sometimes we catch fish, and sometimes we don't. It looks like one of these times it ain't.
Yeah, I've got a lot of those. I'm hoping if I start up my Skunk or Not series, I can actually put fish in it sometime next year.
I think they ought to start doing these tournaments that if you get a guy or lady that's fishing and they skunk at least 3 times and they can't be on another show for 3 weeks.
Oh, hell, I'd never be on one then. I've
You know,
skunked in
every
every
3
one.
weeks, I'd bet to be on somebody's show every 3 weeks.
I've skunked in every tournament I've been in this year. There's only 2 or 3, but you know. But for some reason this year, I just haven't been able to catch a dang fish. Makes me want to quit fishing, but then I think I've got all this money tied up in fishing gear. I'm not just going to let it sit there.
Yeah, that's about the way I am. So plus I enjoy just sitting and getting out. I mean, catching fish is nice, but getting out of the house, not being on the couch or in front of that TV or computer all the time.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. Me and Sharina can get out and not be in the house. Man, she's having fun because she's always catching fish. So I have to live vicariously through her.
Gotta get up and see which way the winds took me. That thing quit beeping on me, that trolling motor, for the longest time.
Now I knew I hadn't heard it until just the last few minutes.
It takes its notion that beeping to work. Sometimes it won't.
I don't know if the remote control for mine beeps or not. If it does, I'm sure I turned it off because I don't want to hear it.
That one guy that I fish with quite a bit, he got a big 24-foot pontoon that's got a metal aluminum roof on the top of it. It's permanent. He just lets down when he's traveling and raise it up when you're fishing. He was out here
That's something.
about a month ago. You know those big old loons?
Yeah.
Big old gray looking, squawking, call them water turkeys or whatever you want to call them.
Those blue herons.
He's at about 4 o'clock in the morning. He's laying under there about 3/4 asleep. That thing lit in on that aluminum roof. He said, I don't know. He said, I've been in some of the darkest woods. He said, in Vietnam. He said, coon hunting. He said, I'm going to tell y'all what. He said, I don't get scared much. He said, but that in there scared the crap out of me.
Oh, I can imagine. Out there in the pitch black and something's beating on your roof.
We've been anchored up there in the shallows, and they would fly by and hit the lines.
I've got a 20-foot pontoon. It's got a metal roof on it, but it's not permanent. Can't lower it. So
his can be took off. It's got legs that fold down under it when you raise it up.
It's the legs that I would be interested in seeing how they work.
It's like aluminum poles. It's got big bolts through the bottom, and through the top. And then when he raises it up, it's got a big brace that just bolts into the side, keeps it from left and right and back and forth.
Cause I've got to rebuild my pontoon. Hopefully the price of marine grade plywood comes down and it doesn't stay $150 a sheet.
Shoot, tell me about it. I thought about trying to redo some of the inside of this boat and move some of the storage around, whatever, you know. But that ain't gonna happen. That kind of price.
Because on my John boat, I get tired of tripping over them ribs, so I want to give me a sheet of plywood to put in there so I can have a flat surface to walk on. Then I can trip over everything else.
I mean, this boat here is 2 people. It's, you know, perfect. 1 person's great, but you add a 3rd person in, and it's doable. I mean, but it would be, you know, strictly. You got your poles, I got mine.
Yeah. Well, I've got a 14-foot John boat. It's really too small for me and Serena both. Because by the time you get rods in there, get your tackle bags, your tackle box, a cooler, there's just no room. But we got the other boat. It's 17.5 foot. And it's good for 3 people with everything else that you got to put in there.
I think this one's like 16.
But I want to get the pontoon redone because since it does have that roof, I can make an enclosure for it for the winter time.
Oh yeah. Time is it? It is.
Mount a generator up on the front, put electric heater in there.
Shoot, he bought one of those Minn Kota Ulteras self-deploying trolling motors.
Yeah, I'd love to have one of those.
He said, the less I got to do on that boat, the better.
Right. Launch the boat by yourself and have it come back to you.
Yeah, he tried that one time. Then we got to think about what if it's you know, the Bluetooth turns something off or something. Disconnects from the Bluetooth, then your boat's floating out there.
Yeah, that is the downside. And technology does have glitches.
Well, Thomas, I made it to 8 o'clock. No fish. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna throw bait down here. Try to get some bait out here.
All right. Hope you have better luck with bait than you did with fish.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate you coming in, man.
Hey, no problem, Lee.
All right. Don't be a stranger. I won't either, man.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right. See you, everybody. Bye.